Hello, my name is Yarob Badr, and I am Regional Advisor on Transport and Logistics ESCWA in Beirut. Thanks to Costa for giving us the opportunity to participate to this training workshop on TIR and other convention in the OIC African countries. I would like to brief you about the transit and the TIR international system application in the Arab region. It is the first time that I am recording a presentation in advance, and believe me, I would have preferred so much to be with you in person for this presentation, but that unfortunately was not possible due to other assignments here in Beirut. So noting that ESCWA is now covering 20 countries out of the 22 countries that are forming the League of Arab States. ESCWA has developed many activities in the past related to the transport system in this region under the concept of the ITSAS, Integrated Transport System in the Arab States, which is a concept that is covering many regional agreement and MOU in addition to other activities related to transport facilitation and to road safety. We are now developing a tool, a GIS tool for the analysis of the transport performance across the region, and thanks to the support provided for this initiative by the Islamic Development Bank. For the time being, I might focus on some of the findings that we had so far. I really focus on three. First, there is a low level of Arab integration. Only around 5% of total export of this region are exported internally, compared, as you can see, to much higher percentages in the other regions of the world. There is a low transport services. 57 of time of trucks crossing the region is lost due to stops at borders for many inspection and other purposes, with around 38% of extra invisible cost. And I think that you all understand what does this invisible cost mean. Of course, there is a low level of addition and implementation of the international road conventions like the TIR, ADR, CMR, and others. In the 22 countries of the Arab region, there are theoretically 13 countries that are member of the TIR convention. But being member of a convention is one thing, and implementing this convention on the terrain is another thing. So in spite of the fact that many countries access to the TIR convention as early as 1977, we will see that the real application of this convention in the region is still low. We see that the number of the TIR carnet issued in the region concern only 9 countries out of these 22 countries. And these 9 countries, there was a trend of reduced number of TIR after 2010. Very recently now, since 2019 and 20, there is a sign of progress, especially after the entry of the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia as member of the TIR agreement. Not to forget Egypt, which entered only in 2020. With our colleagues from the Euromed Transport Support Project, and some of you know our dear colleague Michaelis Adamantiadis, who has done a lot for the transport for the Mediterranean, Euro-Mediterranean region. So we see that although Morocco and Tunisia were members since 1977 and 1983 in the tier, the number of tier carnet issued in the countries, in these two countries, is 0 for Tunisia, and it's only 200 between 2014 and 2019 in Morocco. The same study of the Euromed Transport Support Project provide us with some insight on the reasons of the situation. Well, it seems first of all that these two countries are mainly trading with the EU, and noticing that the EU custom procedure now is only one space, so the trading with the EU is not in favor of the tier. And that the transporter in Morocco and Tunisia as operator are not really mastering the total chain of transport, as they mostly act as subcontractor. And finally, the project note that there are other facilitation tools offered in these concerned countries at the border, which run less attractiveness of the tier for the time being. However, tier can be attractive for a trade moving beyond the European Union, especially for trade to and from the Middle East tier countries, for operation concerning multi-border crossing to other countries, especially in Africa, and especially where are no access to preferential treatment. And it is to explore the additional benefits from the E-tier international system, the electronic version of the tier agreement. And for this, for the E-tier, I can inform you that in ESCWA we have a committee on transport and logistics. And this committee have a yearly meeting gathering the high-ranking officials of the Ministry of Transport in the region. In the last 22nd session of ESCWA Committee on Transport and Logistics that was held in Cairo on 6 and 7 December 2021, these gentlemen, representative of the Ministries of Transport, agreed on a roadmap for the transition to the E-tier in the Arab region, a roadmap composed of 4 phases for the preparation, planning, implementation, and operation and monitoring of the transition to the E-tier. And by the same time that we agreed on this roadmap, we all agreed that the implementation of the E-tier need local cooperation between transport authorities, custom authorities, and the local guarantor. Without the synergy between these 3 stakeholders, there will be no application of the E-tier, not even the tier in itself. But of course, and most important, that this need a strong cooperation between the international bodies and the member states, ESCWA, UNECE, the International Road Transport Union, the Arab Road Transport Union, in addition to the Euro-Mediterranean Transport Support Project. It is expected that according to the conditions of each country, of course, that this roadmap will need between 1 year to 3 years to have its effect. Condition, of course, of all of these cooperation internally and at the regional and the global level for the implementation of the E-tier. My last slide reflects some kind of personal impressions for future opportunities for the tier. I personally think that with the entry of Egypt and other countries to the tier, there will be more opportunities for the implementation of the tier, recognizing mutually the advantages of this agreement. You will see this during this workshop that few countries in Africa are now member of the tier in itself. However, there are many land transport corridors that are connecting the Mediterranean to the heart of Africa. And through these continuous land transport corridors, we can find many opportunities for the implementation on the transport through the E-tier. The third point is that while maritime and railway transport are more attractive for consolidated flows, we noticed from many experience in the region that for the production which is done by small and medium enterprise, that is a small factory that is produced what can fill one truck per week or one truck by month to be exported to other countries, it is noted that the tier agreement can play a role facilitating the shipment of this one truck per month or one truck per week from one country to another, and it is much more competitive than the railway and the maritime transport for this low level of production associated with the expansion of the small and medium enterprise type of production. Lastly, it is clear that the tier agreement cannot do at all alone. There should be the implementation of other regional and global agreements, especially the harmonization agreement, which is the agreement related to the coordination between the two posts of customs control on two sides of a border. With these four personal impressions, I am ending this short presentation, wishing you all a fruitful time in this training workshop. I'd be glad to answer any questions either during this workshop, and please do not hesitate to contact us directly or through our dear colleague Costa for any other inquiries or support needed. Thank you very much for your attention and hope to see you in person in other occasions. Thank you.